Hello everybody and welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. It's time for another grand tour. I've done 8 grand tours of Mars in the past. This will be the 9th one, and we're looking at a region in the northern mid-latitudes of Mars called Utopia Planitia. This is a culmination of many years of research, folks, so let's get cracking on. So we've looked at Aonia Terra, Argaea Planitia, Elysium Planitia, Narcus Terra, Promethea Terra, Protonilus Mensae, Terra Cimmeria, and Phlegra Montes. I'll include a link to all the previous grand tours in the description below for your viewing pleasure. So without further ado, let's get cracking on. Right, let's zoom in to Utopia Planitia. And like I did with the other regions I covered in the past, let's measure how big this area is. It's about 2,400 kilometers long by about 1,700 kilometers wide. So looking at a massive region. Okay, let's have a look at the anomalies I discovered here, guys. So let's start off top left, and this is one I featured quite recently. This is a rather weird object. Looks almost like some type of craft. We've got a rectangular base with this triangular part on the top, and if you have a look at that video, you'll see there's nothing else like it in this photograph. And I found many blocks and slabs with the normal small parts on the top. Those look like 3 very similar ones there. Those 2 store next to one another. And then lots of examples of these blocks that we find down here on Earth at ruins in Egypt and South America. This one, for example, looks very similar to the external veneer of the large pyramids in Egypt. Same sort of size and shape as well. More blocks. Some of them have got bevels on them, folks. And some seem to have openings on the ends, like that one. And again, the similarity in size and shape of these blocks is repeated throughout this region. Lots of blocks also have these slots cut across their surfaces as well. There's one that seems to have a grid like pattern on it. Something's coming out of the one what looks like a hole in that setup there. Seems to have a disc on that block. That disc would be about 2 to 3 meters in diameter, folks. Similar blocks there with the small parts on the top. There again, another pattern on this block. Another perfect example over there. Circular pattern depicted on this block. Check at those dark spots in a circle around that center part there. It looks almost like a hatch that's open. Again, perfect 90-degree angle, uniform width. And this triangular pattern we've seen on many blocks all over Mars as well. There's another triangle depicted on top of that one. Similar blocks here, guys. This is where I found a strange circular UFO type anomaly disc, the dome on the top, and then this one I found down at the equator. Another strange pattern over here. Another triangle there, guys. Looks like a structure going on here, like an enclosure with that part in the inside there. There's another circular depiction around that central part. Three parts in rows we've seen as well. Many other examples that I've covered in the past. There's also three in a row on that block. Buried disc. Another disc sticking out here, folks. There's another one, virtually the same size. So what's up with these blocks? I can understand the argument of dried out lake beds that have cracked up and left the surface these funny patterns, but these blocks are scattered throughout Mars. Northern mid-latitudes, southern mid-latitudes, on the equator. They're just too similar in size and shape to be natural, in my opinion, folks. Strange circular depressions in this region and similar oval shapes in the centers. This one's got a rectangular part to it. Looks almost like a wall or a foundation. It's got a 90-degree angle there. Not a typical crater, if you ask me. And then the pattern continues. More blocks and slabs, monolithic type anomalies, parts in the centers of blocks. Seems to be a disc embedded on that thing. And this eye type anomaly we've seen quite often as well, where we have two rectangular parts next to one another, and the one being a third the size of the larger one. That we've seen in Utopia Planitia as well. So let's make sure I've covered everything here. Right. Let's go over to the top right. Many small blocks scattered about in this region. Some in circular patterns. Have a block design top of this one, small part in the center, and then this where we have an offset smaller part on blocks to the one side in the center, we've seen repeated all over Mars as well. Strange item over here, looks like a disc embedded in the surface there, two narrow parts, and there's a rectangular part bridging the gap in the center of that, and that's repeated on Mars as well, that pattern. Strange design over here, got a slot in this item and then two rows of smaller parts parallel with it. L-shaped block, small protrusion or knob on it, another disc up here folks, about 12 meters in diameter, and then this part on top of it in the shape of a chicken bone that we've seen so often on Mars too. Look at the rectangular depiction on that block. Rounded design here, and a cylindrical part on the top follows the same arc. There's another disc on the block there, guys. Looks like a rectangular opening in that part. Over there as well, so looks like an opening there. Three items in a row on that piece. Another strange symmetrical pattern there. And again, two large parts with a small part bridging the gap in the center. Another L-shaped block seems to be on next to it that fits into that one. Still have some blocks or slabs in a row there. Another L-shaped block. There, that pattern's repeated where we have the small part offset to the side, close to the center of the side over there. To get that item, it's got a perfect hole in it. Also seems to be an opening in that square item, almost like containers. There's another triangle depicted on that item. And I think that concludes all the sites in Utopia Planitia. Let's have a look at these down here. Huge block. If I can recall correctly, it's about 30 meters long on the one side there. And there's only one block in that entire photograph. Strange Stonehenge type of design over there, folks. Got a semicircular pattern repeated over there as well. More of these huge block or pyramidal features. That length there is about 30 to 40 meters long. And this looks like some type of encrusted covering. Looks like a structure over there, guys. Heavily eroded. And of course the canals or roads that are discovered in Jezero, where we have the Perseverance rover. And with that said, this concludes the 9th Grand Tour. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a huge thumbs up if you did. And as always, let's have a chat in the comments below. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now.